Good morning. This is Jason Dean coming live at you again from Film Fanatic headquarters. It is Friday at 11 minutes after noon, 12:11. So I hope everyone's doing good. I've been knee deep in watching the Friday 13th series. I've been doing a video almost every day. I've been on a different kind of a schedule, and I've been setting up the videos, but then setting them up as premieres. I haven't been posting them daily, but they're still coming out, and they're still it's still a thing. And I'm setting up videos as we go. I've been uploading videos and then setting them up as premieres, not in any particular order. I am covering for the third or fourth time my favorite franchise, and that is the Friday 13th franchise. I've been rewatching them. I just finished the box set that I have of the Friday 13th franchise on Blu ray. So I've been loving it. It's been super fun. And I've been really, again, I've done multiple videos on a lot of these movies in the past, and I was like, well, do I need to talk about these movies again? And then I was like, you know what? I love these movies. And it's one of those things where, they mean, I think, honestly, they kind of mean something differently, in different stages of your life. Again, these aren't deep philosophical movies by any means. They are, for me, it's just total schlock entertainment, And but at the end of the day, to a degree, on a deeper level, it just for me kind of captures the essence as to why I love film, why I feel really film is the greatest art form that we have, and I think it's also to make a film, to create a film. I think is the hardest art form to be successful at. And at the end of the day, it's to me, it's about whatever kind of a movie it is, whether it's a documentary, whether it's a melodrama, whether it's a comedy, whatever it is, murder mystery. It doesn't matter. It's all really about getting lost in the story and pure escapism. I think even with documentaries that often focus on very hard social issues to talk about, they, I think there has been more of a visual thing put along with lots of documentaries where they are there is more of a incorporation of aesthetics and in design, and even more of a feeling that it's a theatrical experience, even though they're hitting hard subjects. That's changed a lot in the documentary world. But for me, it's about having that experience of being taken away for a couple of hours on a journey, you know, and taking you out of the mundane. And for me, these movies, at its bare bones, um, its primetime directive is about that. And I can't, get enough of them. So today's show, I just finished up a show which I haven't uploaded yet, but it will be coming out very soon, and that is the Friday 13th, the final chapter. I did a show on that a couple of days ago, a couple of nights ago, and that will be uploaded pretty soon. I just have to get to it. And so again, I've been cruising right through these movies. I've been watching one a night. Now I'm finished with the box set, and now I'm working on the kind of the spin-off movies. Paramount Pictures owned the rights to all of the Friday 13th movies, and then New Line Cinema bought it, and the other films after the with the conclusion being Jason Takes Manhattan, I believe. Um, their New Line Cinema bought the rights, so a lot of these other films are all New Line Cinema, the same company that also has the iconic Friday Nightmare on Elm Street films. And there will be another review. A movie I'm going to be watching next is going to be um, Freddy vs. Jason. So that's going to be exciting. So stay tuned for that. I love that movie to death, and I've done, I believe, multiple shows on that. So stay tuned for that. So today's show is on Friday the 13th, Part 5, A New Beginning. This one came out in 85. And so, chronologically, it follows pretty much almost every year, with the exception of maybe 1 or 2 years, but pretty much every year, um, this franchise was full bore. Like they were just cranking out these movies. So pretty much every year since the first Friday, the 13th, which came out in 80, they have been just cranking them out. Five years, five movies. There you go. And again, it's like that's what a franchise is, and and the exploitation element is like where the filmmakers, the company, the distributors, the company that finances all the people who back these movies, who direct these movies, realize that they've carved out quite a niche. So they are milking it. They are making it happen. So it's pretty fun. It's pretty wild, like how all of these things come together all the time, and they found this niche, they found this audience, so they are going to make it happen no matter what. And that's what that's exploitation 101. The New Beginning is again a really great movie. I think it's the first Jason movie that technically does not have Jason in it, which I think is a pretty bold area to move into. It's really great. It centers on Tommy, who Tommy was the child in the final chapter who survived Jason's slaughter. He saw all of the uh, terrible things, all the people that he killed, and he at the end of the movie you get a glimpse that he is basically he has become a maniac himself because of these things he has witnessed, these horrendous murders, brutal murders. So the New Beginning basically plays on that, but basically follows Tommy's character to where he is he becomes institutionalized, but then he is trying to get go through all of these counseling sessions, and they are trying to get him to become a productive part of society. So, but it's a great movie. The thing that always kind of sparks my interest again watching these movies is um, a handful of these movies I did not see a whole lot. The first four I've seen. The first four movies in the franchise I've seen so many times. It's insane. Like I can't even count that high as far as like how many times I've seen these movies. After part four, I've seen the other movies a lot, but nowhere near as many times. So one thing I've noticed by watching a lot of these films, watching them again, and I'm watching them in order, is kind of a new feeling of appreciation for a lot of these later films. And I really think The New Beginning is a great film because it does take a chance with the narrative as far as like and the folklore of all things Friday the 13th. You know, it does not have Jason in it. So I think that's kind of an interesting, that's a big risk. But they do some cool creative things. They definitely it's a little bit more of, to a degree, a mystery because there is a masked killer in it who is kind of replicating the killings of Jason Voorhees, who's kind of taken on his persona, the hockey mask and the brutal kills. But it's great. It's a great film. I think it's one of the better ones. It was a movie I don't remember seeing when it came out. when I was a kid. I remember seeing it years after it had been out. I again the first four movies, Chapter Four being pretty much my favorite. The I remember kind of taking a break, and I didn't see all of the movies consecutively in order as they were coming out, like I did the first four. It was always that every year I couldn't wait to see the next one, and I would rent it on VHS or it would be on cable. So, but this is great. It's a great film. I think again, I think one thing I've brought up before is I think a lot of these movies are kind of like standalone movies. Like you could watch these movies pretty much by themselves. I think. I think they do a really cool thing as far as um, if you go into a cold, the beginning of these movies and the new beginning, this one I'm talking about, they do a pretty good job with giving you a sense of the the folk story or the mythology around what this whole universe is about. Jason Voorhees, who he is, why is he this masked killer? Why does he brutalize all of these teenagers? What is Camp Crystal Lake? Who is his mother? How did this whole story come about? And all of those things, and some of the same characters. Tommy, which again was played by Corey Feldman in the final chapter. It was his first movie. He was 12 years old when he made that movie, which is crazy. The he is there are he's a reoccurring character. He's actually Tommy. The character is actually in three of these movies. So there is that. There are, and it's funny because in each movie there are three different actors who play the same character, but they do a pretty good job. And in this one, in the new beginning, he is like a teenager basically. He's fully grown, and he's kind of really struggling with all the traumatic garbage and shit that he saw. But they do a really good job, and I think again they give a good backstory. You could watch this one cold. I think you could watch any of these movies cold. They do a pretty good synopsis in the beginning of the film without being too heavy-handed and too ridiculous, to give you a gist of like what the hell's going on. It's not Shakespeare. It's not you know it's not anything that entails where you have to really dig deep, if I want to use that word. You can kind of get the gist pretty quickly. And that's what's fun about these movies. It's light, but they're great and entertaining. So, yeah, I highly recommend it. Seeing this movie, the entire franchise, of course, the best franchise there is. So, stay tuned for more videos, and we will see you next time. Peace.